Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
No Nope thread? 2008. Canadian, so obviously I played hockey. Be driving home late at night from a game about 45 minutes from where I live. Hardly any vehicles on the road. Driving across a small bridge. See a jogger, wearing a blue windbreaker. Get closer, almost right beside the jogger. Some weird electrical disturbance messes with the radio. The jogger fades away. Quiet drive from there till home.
This happened probably 10 years ago, and to this day I still don't know what it was. Sitting in a local bar on the outskirts of a small town in upstate New York. It's a weeknight, Monday, maybe Tuesday, so the bar is dead. And I'm sitting there bored as shit trying to catch a buzz. I'm the only patron in the place, and the only other person there is the bartender. I remember she was a cute little college girl named Mandy, maybe 19 years old. I think I was probably 22 at the time. I was chatting the chick up pretty hard trying to get myself a piece. I remember it was probably around midnight in the fall, a very still, dark night. Suddenly, this wind and rain hits out of nowhere like a fucking Mack truck. In out of the storm walks this guy average height, maybe a little under 6 foot, and an extremely thin man who is so white he looks like new fallen snow. The bar has probably 20 seats, and this guy sits right next to me. He turns to look at me, and Jesus Christ, his eyes are entirely jet black, no white or color whatsoever. I am instantly hit with this terrible feeling of absolute bottomless dread. I mean, like a black hole just filled my entire existence. The guy orders a beer but doesn't drink it. He then starts asking me the weirdest questions, and he has this very deep, gravely voice. He is asking me questions like, was your grandmother a strong woman? And do you like the sound of children playing on a spring day? Dude is seriously making me uncomfortable in those eyes. He asks me to tell him what I hate about people. I feel myself getting angry with his questions and actually feel a rage building inside me. I'm normally a very chill person, but this guy made me want to punch him. Somehow I get the impression that that is what he wants. Like he feeds off anger and violence and negative energy. Instead, I smile and tell him I love everyone, and that includes him. I actually see what I think was disgust come over his face. He stares at the bartender like he could leap over and attack her at any moment. Finally, he says goodbye without touching his beer, gets up and leaves back into the storm. I go to the door and look down the road. There's only one way to go as the bar was on a dead-end street, and you can see a good 3 miles in that direction, and I would have seen headlights in the storm, and didn't see any, which means he must have walked. I then get the terrible feeling that he didn't leave, but was still out there, hiding, watching the bar. The bartender starts to freak out now and starts screaming and crying, screaming things like, "It's hopeless," and "We're all going to die alone." This was from a girl who literally always had an ear-to-ear smile. I'm wutting now and trying to calm her down, and the wind and rain sounds like it could break the glass of the windows at any moment. The bartender Mandy pukes all over the bar, and I swear to you, the minute she did, the storm just stopped. The rain, the wind, the thunder, it just stopped, like it was turned off. Mandy kind of shakes her head like she was in a daze and is back to her normal self. She was terribly embarrassed and started cleaning the puke, apologizing profusely. I keep reassuring her it's not a problem, everyone gets sick sometimes. I think I honestly could have taken her home after that, but I just felt so completely shitty I just wanted to go home by myself and crash. Never saw Mandy after that night. She quit working there, and who knows what happened to her. This was 10 years ago, but I remember it vividly. I still have no clue what took place that night.
Be drinking at a bar a few years back and talking to some old dude because I had nothing better to do. The guy is a retired sewer worker for the city. I comment how it must have sucked working down there. He says sometimes, but the pay was great. He then becomes white as a ghost and asks, "Hey, you want to hear something really weird?" Sure. He proceeds to tell me how one time him and a couple other workers were down in the sewer and then turned this one corner and came upon a spider the size of a horse sitting on a massive web that blocked the path. The guy tells me there were all rats and cats and even dogs caught in the web and cocooned up. I laugh and tell the guy he is bullshitting me. The old dude swore on his life he was telling the truth, and holy shit, did he look scared as he told the story. The guys got the hell out of the sewer and told their supervisor who, like me, laughed and told them they are full of shit. They brought him down there to see for himself. After seeing it with his own eyes, the supervisor hired some guys to go down there with flamethrowers and burn the damn thing. When they got down there, they found the web had been knocked down and all the dead animals were still there, but the spider was nowhere to be found. They never did find it. There were also disappearances of several small children around this time who never were found. Not that there is any connection, but who knows? The whole story just gave me a really nasty feeling.
Be me, 16 from Austria. Small Hicksville, mountains everywhere, next city 80 kilometers away. Big forest behind our house. Winter. My mum being quite strict, I had to hide for a smoke. Do so in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., cool as I am. iPod on max volume. Playing Snake or some shit on my Nokia. Think I hear something, take out one earplug. Listen into the night, nothing. Continue with the cig. One of the nights when there's a thin layer of ice above the snow. Imagine hearing something again. Earplug out, and I hear this stereotypical zombie growling. Nope.av, roughly 20 to 30 meters away. The night couldn't be darker, no moon or anything. Don't see anything after staring into my cell. Must be an animal. The growling comes closer. Steps break through the layer of ice, and I hear this typical sound of something heavy compressing the snow underneath. Step by step towards me. Growling continues, intensifies. I start to sprint inside the house. Never been so fast. Adrenaline really fires a rocket up your ass if it has to. Wake my mum, tell her something's outside. She transforms from annoyed, tired, to furious the moment she smells the smoke. The same moment tells me that she has never seen me that pale. She sticks her head outside the door, doesn't sense anything. I got no pocket money that month. Yeah, my one and only story. Still don't know what it was. Can't imagine some freak waits for hours in the cold just to give me a spook. And I couldn't imagine an animal coming towards me. Somehow it doesn't sound right.
Last 4th of July. Driving to Maine with 3 friends, all teammates at UMass. Decide to leave at night so we get there by morning. Leave at 10. Get to New Hampshire around 11:30. Me and Jeff are talking. Donnie and Byron are asleep in the back. Dat 99 Jeep Cherokee though. Start to get this weird feeling that something's wrong. Start going through a mental checklist. Nah, all set. Keep hearing little sounds and grunts from the back. Keep telling myself it's my boys. I'm lying to myself. A half hour of this weird bullshit goes by. On edge, something's going on. Around 1, pull into a gas station near the highway. I need an excuse to get out. I'm craving in Arizona. Me and Jeff go inside and get drinks and shit. Go back outside. Look at my Jeep and my fucking trunk is open. Dude, what the fuck? I always lock it manually and double check every time. I even remember doing it before we left. Jeff wakes Byron and Donnie up. Check the trunk. Find a brand new shit-smelling oily spot near my helmet and football pads. Find a fucking ice pick wrapped in a tattered cloth and a bootlace. Carry a loaded PPK underneath my seat in a locked box.
Me and a friend walking down the road near his house. After the last street light, the pavement ends and so does maintenance. The road is just graded occasionally. Really dark out, can barely see in front of you, but there is just enough ambiance to walk. We're heading towards a bend in the road. I see something run past in the woods to the right. Friend may have seen something on the other side of the road. We get up to the bend in the road, deciding which way to go. We're pretty much done walking. Then I see some big white bony animal cross the road from left to right after the turn, so it's going straight. We end up turning back, not so concerned about the animal though. Get 1/8 or 1/16 of a mile away from the streetlight. Hear a padded footstep behind me, so I turn around. See what looks like the rake on all fours, scream like a bitch, not just because I'm scared, but I hope the loud noise will scare it, and it was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Friend looks back and thinks he saw it stand on all fours, but it's really hard to see outside. Haul ass harder than we ever have before, the full distance to the light. Turn back and see 2 small dogs. They look really vertically distorted, but one could have been a hound, and there was a lot of adrenaline going. Start running again. My friend is having an asthma attack. Not even bad asthma, hadn't had any problems in years, just can't run for a long time. Get back to his house and look up images of the animals we think it is. Nothing comes close. Months later, I found out it was just a skinny greyhound. This shit actually happened, as hard as it is to believe. Be Guy from Greyhound on a creepy road story if you saw that, only posted it once. Me and friend walking on creepy road near his house again. Walking down this road, I think we went to chill at the lake and we're coming back. The sky is red in the direction of an abandoned block building. We had been in there before. Friend got possessed after we did a summoning ritual in said building weeks before. The red looks like fire to him. Get to where the road to the building connects with the one we're walking on. Friend chuckles like he did when he was possessed. Spooky shit. Very unnatural. WTF, why did you make that creepy sound? What creepy sound? Nope.webm. While hauling complete ass, this guy is slower than me, and he picks up speed. His feet leaving the ground for seconds, and I can't catch up. I was actually pushing his back to give him speed beforehand, because he wasn't noping hard enough. Finally, catch up after his burst of speed ends. We haul ass to the only street light at the end of the road, before it gets somewhat brighter. I can tell the possession story if you guys would like to hear it. I'm still skeptical about it. But this guy is my best friend, and when he occasionally fucks with me, he tells me it was a joke later, and he hasn't cracked up once. Me and another friend at the guy's house. We decide to go to the building with an Ouija board, a red candle, and a lighter for said candle. Pretty dark out. We walk to this place and go around back because the front door won't budge. Can't remember specifics, but I think it had metal bars over it. A graveyard across from the building also. Cautious because we don't want some homeless guy to jump out. Kick in the back door because it's swelling and won't open all the way. Make sure nobody is hiding in the building. Light the candle, sit in a circle around it, and the Ouija board. Start trying to talk to something. Fail the first time. The second time we start talking to some evil thing. Friend ends up possessed. Thinks the walls are talking, says people will burn. We end up getting him to snap out of it and go back to his house. We go back the next day like dumbasses. Friend gets possessed again. We're trying to get him back to the house. He picks up a board with nails and we get away. He presses it against himself. Not much we can do because if he swings it, we're fucked.
presses the board against himself, and manages not to stab himself. Me and the other friend get away and hide in the woods, deciding what to do. We wait for a few minutes, hoping he'll come down the road. He doesn't, so we head back. We meet him walking back, has bite marks all over. Says the thing made him bite himself. We head back scared. That's what happened. Strange as shit, though.
Live on Vancouver Island. Always hear the stories of the weird shit that has happened. Get really into it and freaked out by it. Anyways, around 8 years old. Me and 2 friends are walking a dog. Go to this sandpit thing. Throw sticks for my friend's dog. All that shit you do with dogs. Start walking back. The dog starts getting uneasy. He must want to play some more. See a stick in a bush? Proceed to throw the stick. The dog goes apeshit when it reaches the stick. The fuck.jpg. Me and my friends walk over. 3 human fucking skulls, flies, and shit all around them. Nope all the way back to my friend's house with the dog. Tell my friend's dad. He checks it out. Couldn't find him. Go back the next day out of curiosity. Nothing there other than a small design made from pebbles.
2013. After graduating from New Jersey, I decided to settle down on a farm. Go to Iowa and buy a plot of land with my parents' money. Backstory not necessary. Creaky 2-story farmhouse. Just came home from the farmer's market in the next town over. Too sleepy. Pull in and turn off the engine. I hear rustling in the field. Corn stalks are snapping. What the fuck? I think it's some locals messing with me. Pretend to be brave and yell, "Get out of here, whoever the hell you are." Rustling stops, thank God that's over. Heading towards the house when bang. Someone fires a gun. Rustling begins again. Corn stalks snapping. Whatever is moving in the field starts running towards the road. There's a struggle between the gunman and the mystery monster. I tear ass into the house. I keep watching from the window in the kitchen, just 2 shadows tumbling around in the dark. After a few minutes, a second bang. A shadowy figure begins to rise to its feet, run out of the house to thank the gunman. It's not the gunman. A shaggy creature in the shadows rises on its hind legs, stares at me, then runs away. Nope. I tried to stay up until morning but fell asleep on my dining table. When I woke up, there were no bodies on the road. Just blood everywhere. Everything's quiet now, but I bought a rifle now, just in case.
No one is probably going to believe me on this, since everyone I tell it to doesn't anyways, but this actually happened. I'm not entirely too sure what I saw. Hanging out with friends over at their house for the first time. I'll refer to friends as R, T, and D. T is basically the most badass dude I know. Saw him put a person in the hospital before. Comes into the room while I'm chilling with R, says he doesn't want to walk into the woods because he's seen some shit. Ask him what he's seen. Says it was a werewolf. So I call him out on his shit and tell him he's a bitch. Walk through the woods to D's house with R and T. Get halfway through and T says he can walk the rest back by himself. R and I walk back. Nothing happens at all, and I'm busting his balls about this werewolf. A couple months pass and I'm back at their house again. I go to walk through the woods at around 2 to 3 in the morning to D's house. This is the part where no one believes me on. I shit you not, there is this huge fucking thing in the woods. At first I think it's a bear. I live in Pennsylvania, it's not uncommon. I don't panic too much because I've been hiking my entire life and I know what to do with bears. Now this is the part that gets me, and every time I think about it, I freak out. This thing stands up on its hind legs, and as it does, I realize it's not a bear at all. All I can describe it as is this big fucking wolf starts chasing me through the woods and I'm chucking rocks at it as I'm running. Get out onto the road. This is like right out of a movie. A car passes me on the road and this thing is just gone, vanished like into thin air. To this day, I still have no clue on what I saw, and I'm not going to go around and tell people it's a werewolf because I don't really believe it was. It could have been a skinwalker, but I haven't really researched them enough to know. If anyone could help me come to a conclusion on what I saw, that'd be great.
2009. On a hunting trip with Dad. We used to go bird hunting every fall. As we're walking along, shooting the shit, ask him about this house in the middle of nowhere that everyone says is haunted. Some weird shit went on there. I can elaborate if people want to know. The house was burned down years before, but the barn and other buildings were still there. Dad says it just looks creepy because the driveway is so long. Takes like 5 minutes to go down the driveway. After we're done hunting, hop in the vehicle and go to the ground where the house was. In October, so starting to get dark at like 7 p.m., but still lots of light. Go down the driveway. The barn comes out of nowhere, almost shit my pants just by the look of it. Dad is like, "See, nothing down here besides a ratty old barn." Back up to turn around. Reverse lights light up the face of some weird-looking thing in the doorway of the barn. We both look. Its face is all fucked up, and it's dressed in old-timey farmer's clothes, holding a big scythe, like a bat out of hell. Meatloaf. Peel out of there. Dad just says, "Let's forget this happened." Right. In the 70s or 80s, some crazy shit happened there. A few people moved in there and people knew they were weird. Since it's a very small area, they would go outside and offer drifters a ride. Then they would perform human sacrifices. Later on, edgy kids practiced witchcraft there. Then just before it was burned, some kids would go there to party, but some people had fucked up things happen to them, like they would go crazy and stuff.
Be me about 12 to 13 years old. Be sleeping like a log in my childhood bedroom. Suddenly wake up, not panicked or anything, just feeling a bit uneasy. Bedroom on the first floor with the door open, facing the living room. I can see straight at the little LED on the VCR. The LED vanishes for a moment, then comes back on. Too drowsy to think anything of it. My head hurts slightly. About to get off the bed and go get a glass of water. The LED vanishes again, but this time I hear footsteps. Sounds like paws walking on the parquet, like a dog or something. The LED on the VCR appears again, like the dog just walked in front of it slowly. I have no dog. Start freaking out. Stay still for a bit, listening. Nothing. Weirdly enough, I feel like taking a piss, so once again I'm about to get off my bed. Fucking LED vanishes again. This time I'm sure I hear the footsteps of some sort of animal, no doubt about it. It's coming towards me with increasing speed. Can't see shit because it's dark, thank God. Completely frozen. The dog runs, jumps, and lands on my feet. Momentarily glad I never pulled my blanket away. Start crying like a little bitch until Mum comes down the stairs and turns on the light, asking what happened. There's nothing on my feet. Nope.bmp. Thankfully, that's my first and last paranormal experience. What creeps me out the most is that I am 110% sure that I was awake. I've asked around, but I always get laughed at. That memory still gives me chills to this day.
Girlfriend moves in with me and my mom. She don't have a car, so I drive her to work, I work only weekends. She doesn't work weekends, so it's fine. She works at Jack's. It's a 2-minute drive. She has to open sometimes. Take her there at 4 a.m. driving back home. On the main highway, go on the smaller road to the house. Almost home, just 1 minute to go. A car comes flying behind me doing 90 miles per hour at least. High beams glaring into my rearview mirror. All of a sudden, my car shuts down and the lights stop. The car pulls beside me and turns off its lights. Nope, 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 nope. He gets out. Oh, for God's sakes, I'm going to die. Lock my car. No gun, so I'm screwed. Trying to crank it, but it sounds like the battery is dead. He is standing beside my window, not doing anything. Just standing, staring off into the distance. He punches my car door. The car lights back up. Crank it and drive like an idiot. He follows me. I drive for a good hour around town until he turns off. Drive to Grandma's and then head back home. Grandma was asleep, so I just parked my car in her driveway. Sold my car a week later just in case he found me.
I've had such weird shit happen. 2011. Work in a bar. Shift ends at 4 a.m. Walk home from work alone while listening to music, 'cause I'm intelligent. Constantly look behind me because nearly got mugged once. See a jogger approaching, whatever. Usual shit this early in the morning. See someone passing me in my peripheral vision. Sidestep to get out of the way. No one there. Take off my headphones, all confused. Stomp. Stomp. Stomp off into the distance. Pick up the pace, and nope, 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 all the way home. Same guy. Later that year, or the following, who cares? Take the same route home, always cause it's open roads. That one stretch of road freaks me out ever since. Almost past the area that my brain is fully convinced is the haunted zone or some bollocks. See a male jogger out of nowhere, jogging away from me. Would have had to have seen him approach me. Whatever. He just left his house. I'm listening to music. I don't hear no doors open or close. For the moment I glance. He turns a corner which would lead him out of sight. Get further down the road. Time for my half-minute turn. Nope. WTF, nope. Nope, nope. Fucker was at the same spot like he hadn't moved an inch. His legs are out of view. But this maneuver was some bullshit choreographed shit. Like as I look at him, his back is turned. But as I lock eyes on his back, he sort of swivels. Like he was on some sort of frictionless disc. Staring at me, mouth agape. Mind you, he was a good distance away, and it was dark. But whatever that movement was so unnatural, I quickly copied his maneuver and fucked off. But that's not all. Oh no. It's a 20-minute walk home from here, and my ass is clenched tighter than a golfer's grip around his club mid-swing. Get home though, no probs. 4:30-ish now. The sitting room has a faint glow coming from the back. Open the door, walk in, see what I presume is my sister being an idiot on her phone in the fetal position on the couch, like the light is coming from her, hands in front of her knees, utter her name faintly, as if to say, WTF. Why are you still up, go to bed, while reaching for the lights? Not even halfway through her name, and the head just reels up, a faint gasp. The light is pulled closer to her, chest. Except it's not fucking her, it's fucking him. This happens in an instant. I spasm like a spurg and the light's coming on. This thing, disappearing with it.
Be back in 2012. Reading a nope thread on /x/pretty casual night. Get up to make myself a hot pocket. Knock.jpg. I look through the peephole and I see two identical young men in white t-shirts, black pants and ties. I shout out, I'm not home. Sounds like they left. Look out the peephole and they're gone. As I head towards my soon-to-be-finished hot pocket, I hear the familiar sound of my computer rebooting. WTF. Sure as shit it's rebooting. I don't know what happened and I don't want to know. As I go to grab my hot pocket, I hear knocking again, but it sounds like it's coming from my computer room. Nothing's there. I knock, but this time I swear it came from upstairs. On my way upstairs, I glanced through my front door peephole just to be sure I wasn't going crazy. Nobody was there. I go investigate upstairs and sure as shit it's empty. Knock. Fuck it. Go downstairs and whip open the front door. The young men from earlier are still there. They look at me unfazed by my obvious temperament, with this empty look about them. I could feel something was off about these young men. They both held eye contact with me, and I noticed they blinked in unison. I'd bet they even breathed as one, these two mysterious beings seemingly linked as one. As I went to open my mouth to speak in unison, they both addressed to me the same inquiry. Sir, do you have a moment for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.